Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me. Got the D-Man here, and today's topic is going to be a continuation of courage. Courage. We could talk about fear, but that's the negative side, right? We all face fear every day. Sometimes you don't even want to get out of bed, right? Because maybe you have something coming up during the day that you are dreading. But guess what? You created it. Yeah, I know that's hard to believe, but through your thoughts, your feelings, your images in your mind, you have created that situation to teach you a lesson. Whatever that lesson may be, whatever your goals or your vision is in life, these things that are happening are all good. Yeah, you've heard that saying, oh, it's all good. Well, it is all good, although that's hard to believe. And even as I tell you, I think of some terrible things that happen in the world. How could that be good? I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, we can't see the big picture. The one thing we think is that when we die, it's terrible. Oh my gosh. You know why it's terrible? Because we don't know what happens. Or at least we don't think we know. We're not sure. And the one thing we don't like is change. Change frightens us. So many times in our life, we'll stay in a miserable situation because it's familiar, because we don't have the courage to face the unknown. Think about someone who's in an abusive relationship. I mean, they may be getting slapped around, verbally abused, both, or even more, whatever that more may be, but yet they stay there. Maybe they're a friend of yours and you talk to them. You said, look, you got to get out of that. And they find reasons and they justify staying there. But really what they're doing, they're staying in that relationship where they're being abused and treated badly because they're afraid of the unknown. Even though they're miserable and they know they deserve better, or they feel like they do, well, they really don't feel like they do, or they would get out of that. No one can treat you badly unless you first treat yourself badly, because everything comes from the inside out. You allow that to happen because that's how you feel about yourself. You feel you deserve that. You feel you don't deserve better than that. First, you have to feel, you have to think, you have to believe that you deserve better than that. And then, if you do, you have the courage to step out of that relationship. And it's not only women that get abused. Of course, physically more it's the women because the men are inherently stronger. But many times men, especially in the U.S., will stay in relationships where they get treated like crap because they're strapped down or tied down through the government, the government's entanglement with the marriage, the divorce laws. They know that if they leave, they're going to lose everything, including access to their children, which they may get to see them, once every other weekend and some few weeks during the summer. And they don't want to lose that, so they tolerate being treated badly. Maybe even their wife runs around with them, she has a boyfriend, but they know that if they leave or they don't tolerate it, they're going to lose their home. I don't know how much of their income until the children turn 21. Some states you have to pay alimony. So they stay in this abusive relationship and they're miserable and they live for the day when they're going to get out of it. But they would be better off to step out of it today into the unknown. Sure, they may have to pay some money, but they can rise above that. But they stay there because they're familiar with it. They're afraid of what might be. And of course, they only think of the bad things. They don't think about the freedom that they may feel and the extra energy that they might have to build their income to where this would not affect them as much. I understand the situation though, because I have been there. But there comes a time when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, or where the pain and the misery is so great that you step out and you act courageous because you can't take it anymore. I don't really know if that's being courageous or whether it's just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. But if you're in that situation where you're miserable where you are, but you're afraid to step out into the unknown, Everything is change. You're always going to have change. That's the one thing that's going to be constant in your life is change. So you can actively take steps in the direction of change instead of being forced there, so to speak, because you're too afraid, but then the pain gets so great that you finally make the move. But it's more like you're doing it because you feel like you have to. You could take that step earlier. You don't have to wait till the misery gets so bad that you feel like you have no choice, although you always do have a choice. The choice is to be courageous, to take that first step, to step out. Now, I'm not telling you to leave your family or your wife or your kids. I'm just saying I'm using that as an example of one situation. You could say you could use another example of being employed somewhere. You've worked for this place for 20 years. You've got a good retirement built up. You're 50 years old, and you think that, but every day you go in, you can't stand it because you got this tyrant boss who, no matter what you do, he is on your butt all day long. I mean, you dread Monday morning. You live for Friday. Thank God it's hump day. Or is it thank God it's Friday? I don't know. I don't have that, but I understand it. But you won't leave because of your fear. What will you do? You're 50 years old. You can't get a job anywhere else. That's all bull crap too. I'm 60 years old. I've started new businesses. I have 6 kids, young kids. Hell, I may have another kid. Oh, and then people would tell me, well, God, Mark, you'd be old enough to be their grandpa. Well, some of these people now say, when I'm out with my kids, they say, oh, you out with grandpa today? I don't care what they think. That's another thing. Forget about what people think. It doesn't matter what they think. As long as you're not breaking the laws and you're living according to the golden rule, who cares what they think? They're not living in your body. They are not living your life. Live your life for yourself. Do what you want to do. Just completely eliminate worrying about what people think of you. I got people talk about me all the time because I do things that young people do. I don't care what they think. If I want to go out here and climb a tree and hang from a limb, I'm going to do it. So what are they going to say? Well, you need to act your age. Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard this one too. You're getting too old for that. Am I? I was sparring with my son yesterday. He's 16. He nailed me pretty good in the nose. But you know what? That's nothing compared to what I used to get when I actually boxed professionally. Am I too old to do that? I don't think so. But if you think you're too old, you're too old. Now, does it take courage for me to get in the ring and spar with my kids? Yes, it does. Not a great amount of courage because I've done it so many times. But there's always fear in front of you whenever you are going to do something that you desire. It's going to be your constant companion. As I said, fear is always there. You're going to wake up with it every morning, but it doesn't have to control you. Like I said, the difference between a hero and a coward is not the absence of fear. They both have fear. They both feel fear. The difference is the hero confronts and faces his fear, and the coward turns away and walks away to face fear another day, because he's going to face it every day. The question is, will he confront it and walk through it, or will he turn around and walk away from it? And that's your choice today too. But now the big fears, like if you're standing on top of a high rise looking down and it's like thousands of feet below, that's a normal fear. That's an obvious fear. But these more subtle fears, like you want to raise, but you're afraid to ask the boss, or you want to get a drink of water, but that good-looking girl that you're really interested in is at the fountain and you don't know what to say to her, but you think, well, I'm really not that thirsty. No, you are thirsty, but you're afraid to walk up there because you like this girl and you want to say something to her, but you don't know what to say because you're afraid to say what you know to say. You know what to say, but your fear stops you. Fear paralyzes you. You will end up living a life of quiet desperation if you don't face your fears. Now, you don't have to start out with the big ones. Don't start out with that girl that you think's beautiful that you want to take out today. Start out talking to the lady at the quick store. She's not very attractive. Maybe she's an older woman in her 50s and she's overweight. Strike up a conversation with her. Just talk to her. Ask her how her day is going. Talk to the old man that's out on the corner waiting for the taxi to pick him up, or the Uber, I guess, nowadays. Either one. Just talk to people. Talk to everybody. This way you can become a more social person. If you're sitting behind your computer or your Xbox all day long and you have social anxiety, that's why. Because there's a great difference between talking to people through electronics than talking to them face to face. I was nervous about making videos. Actually, every day I make a video, I'm nervous about it or fearful because I don't know what I'm going to say. I mean, I have a topic, but I don't have a script. I mean, it's easier when I have when I read something off the computer or I get a couple quotes out of someone's book. But when I'm just winging it, so to speak, like today, I'm not sure what I'm going to say, but I have to trust my higher self, God, divinity, whatever, Buddha, Krishna, whatever word you choose to name your higher power. I have to trust that it will just come, and it does, because I'm here to help, I'm here to share. And now the selfish part of that is, whatever I share with you just reinforces it inside of me and makes me stronger and helps me. So yes, I do get something out of this. I get a lot out of it. Invariably, I get as much out of it as I give to you. But it's my hope that you gain something from this also. So remember, you're going to face fear every day, okay? Now you can turn away from it and shrink, or you can face it, walk through it, and get closer to whatever it is you desire in life. Move towards your vision, towards your goals, instead of away from it. The universe is constantly expanding, and you are either expanding or contracting. There is no neutral, and that's up to you. It's your choice today to face these fears that stand between you and your desires, or to shrink and contract and walk away from them. All right? I hope this has been of help to you. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I have a new subscriber yesterday. I want to thank you for joining, and I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and share it with a friend. Have a great day.